All right. Today we're going to talk about the supergroup, uh, rock and roll stars, the Winery Dogs. I first started hearing about the formation of this band. I was watching That Metal Show. So if you all haven't watched that, I think it was on VH1 Classic back in the day. uh 2008-ish until 2015, I think. And so you had Eddie Trunk, Don Jameson, and Jim Florentine, if I'm remembering the host together. They'd just talk about metal and hard rock and rock music, and I looked forward to it. I used to set the DVR to record it if I couldn't watch it live. So super cool. I discovered bands that way. And yeah, then would have guests come on. So I remember get really excited for some of the guests they'd have on just to come get interviewed. Yeah, just a time for me to like nerd out on music and watch that show. I was bummed when it went off the air, but I remember Eddie Trunk talking about this group that was going to be formed, and so it was Mike Portnoy, the famed drummer from Dream Theater, and he has a million other projects. And you had Billy Sheehan. He was with David Lee Roth. I really knew him from Mr. Big. Mr. Big kind of blew up when I was a youngster, and I liked them and followed the career. And so I would see Billy pop up in other groups too. He's got a million projects too, like Mike Portnoy. So I knew right then, all right, so you got these two super musicians. This band's got to be cool. And at that time, it was going to be John Sykes. So his biggest fame, I would say, coming from White Snake. And I didn't really know John on vocals, but I still was excited because I knew he could shred being in the White Snake albums that he was in. I don't recall what happened, but it didn't work out for John Sykes to join in. But here comes Richie Kotzen. And Eddie Trunk would talk about Richie Kotzen quite a bit. That's really how I discovered Richie, other than I knew he was in the Poison album Native Tongue. And I thought that was a really cool bluesy Poison record, very different than their other stuff. And then I knew he came in once Paul Gilbert left Mr. Big. Richie Kotzen came in, I think, for 2 records, maybe it was 3. And they had some cool songs. And so began my deep dive into Richie Kotzen's music. But we're going to do top 3 songs of the Winery Dogs, 3 albums. I hope they continue to produce and release more music. But let's start with this first one. Self-titled, comes out in 2013. I'm just going to tell you right now, this record's awesome. My first 2 songs, I'd say pretty easy for me to pick the top 3. But the third one, I could have picked a ton of these songs. I was looking at my iTunes, and I have the love symbol clicked on almost every song except like 2, but those songs are good as well. So we'll start with Elevate. This one, just right out of the gate, it's energetic. I think it's awesome. Elevate is one of my favorite songs still to this day. And as soon as I heard the song, I'm like, oh, dude, this record's going to be a banger. These musicians are so talented. You get Richie singing over Portnoy's drums, and then you could just have Richie jamming on guitar, Billy jamming on the bass, and they're just in sync. Just excellent, excellent musicians. I think the chorus is catchy. I think it's really, really solid. All 3 are singing and harmonizing at different points. And then you move into the solos. It's this band, they really can show off because they're so talented. So you get the bass solo first, and then Richie comes in, he's doing a guitar solo. Mike comes in, he's doing his drumming, and then back to Richie's solo. And it's just jamming. But I love this song. Elevate. I believe it was a lead single too. So you can go find that lead single on YouTube. The second song, I'm going to drop down to track number 12. You can see this is a long record, 13 songs, is The Dying. And so this one, to me, it's moving, it's soulful. You get some clean guitar to open, and then you have the bass playing underneath it. Richie singing while he's riffing on the guitar. The distortion, not really much on the guitar. It's more of clean guitar playing. And then you get to the chorus. It's another one that just makes you want to sing. They write some really, really good hooks. And the song too, it can make you tear up. This is, like I said, this is a kind of a moody one. I think the guitar solo matches the song perfectly. And then, Richie does his song, and then he brings his guitar solo back as the song is closing out, which I think is a great technique. If you like guitar soloing, this is more of Richie Kotzen's heavier stuff, because his solo catalog it's like everything. You're going to get jazzy records. You're going to get bluesy records. You're going to get funk records. And so he's just a really, really talented musician. All three of these guys singing, and then it stops, and then Richie Kotzen's vocals, they just soar on this record. And so I've become a huge Richie fan. So anytime he releases anything, I go out and buy it right away. For the third song on this record, we're going to go with Desire. It's track number 2. This one's groovy. You get Billy jamming on the bass, and then the rhythm comes in, and there just has a nice drive to it. I think the effects for Billy on this one of the bass, makes the bass playing really stand out. And Billy just has a signature sound. If you listen to a record, there's certain things you'll hear in the music. You're like, oh, Sheehan must be on an album. There's quite a few bands that I've noticed that on. Really think he's found the tone and just the different effects and pedals he uses. I think he's really good at that. I dig the bridge into the soloing, first by Billy again, so Billy's going to be showing off again, and then it's Richie. So then Richie's doing the solo. I think this is a song that when they play live, they can just make this song, turn into like a 10-minute song, because they can just do so much jamming on it, and all these guys are really talented. All right, so that was their first album. They only have 3 full-length studio albums, so we're gonna go with Hot Streak next. This one comes out in 2015. I think it's 2 years later. The other one was 2013, and right out of the gate, the first song we're going to go with is Oblivion. And this one's like Elevate. It is energetic. It has good energy. I think it starts out electric, and these boys are showing off and be able to jam. What's going on. It's just showing their talents. And then my thoughts are, as I listen to it, is like, oh, you're off to the races. Off to the races, my friend. It's a driving track with the rhythm section. I think it transitions well into the chorus. And these 3 guys are just, they're having fun, doing their thing. And it transitions into the guitar solo. Then here comes Billy doing his bass solo, and then Billy and Richie are doing it together. And so it's super cool. These are one of those bands, like, you got to listen to the album a few times to catch everything. And then, Portnoy on the drums. Portnoy, he's just solid as ever. He's a really, really, really good drummer. There's a reason you hear about him a lot. The second song I'm going to go with is The Fire. So this is just more of a kind of like a ballad, I would say. And so you have Kotzen can write some really good, I'll say tear-jerking songs, ones that you really feel. The Spanish guitar vibe is what I'm picking up here. And if you have an acoustic or a mellow playlist, throw this song on there. It's excellent. I liked it the first time I heard it. Like Oblivion, dug that song too. Billy and Mike are doing a good job harmonizing their vocals underneath, or as they rotate with Richie. When Richie's singing by himself, his vocal chops are just excellent. I think the acoustic solo by Richie, again, top notch, matches the song perfectly. And then you got some piano underneath, which I think is a really good touch. And then you get to the points where the drums kick in, and the vocal harmonies are working really well. So this Fire, another excellent song by the Winery Dogs. And then for my third song on here, we're going to go with track number 3, The Lamb. This is the longest song. I think it's almost 7 minutes. And, this is one of those songs I remember my kids were quite a bit younger when it came out. And this is one of those songs that I remember them singing to once it gets to the chorus. So right there, you got the sentimental value. So Kotzen opens up vocally with some subtle music underneath, and then the boys start to jam. The bass and the drums are playing as the verse kicks in. And then, I like the chorus when they saying, I need someone to lead me. It's catchy chorus. I can't sing, so sorry for that. But, and then I like the build of the verse that then transitions into the chorus. It has a little bit more energy. And then the boys start solo jamming again. It's just so good. Hot Streak by the Winery Dogs. All right, let's do the last record, which is 3. I'm going to tell you this EP, Dog Years, is really good too. Go out and buy that one. I want to say 4 out of the 5 songs I play quite a bit. But yeah, if you like guys jamming and just doing their thing, really, really good. So a decent gap in between albums here. What is this, like 7 to 8 years later? 3 comes out, and this is the most recent release from the Winery Dogs. So that's why I said I hope they're going to put some more music out there. Their lead singer, I believe, was number 1, Xanadu, and it's totally in the vein of The other two records were Elevate and Oblivion. It's up tempo. You got these three guys showcasing their talent again. Mike's drumming has a cool groove during the verse, and then the bass lick is solid, or it's excellent. I mean, it's really excellent. And then you have guitar fills by Richie, which I think he does a really good job in there. And so maybe there's definitely elements I didn't hear the first time I heard the song. I usually am drawn to the stuff that's in your face. Is the chorus catchy? What's the singing like? And so as I listen at more and more and prepare for this, you just hear more stuff that I might have missed the first go around. I'm gonna go with track 2 as my second song here, Mad World. I think the groove to open it up is really cool. It has this bluesy vibe on this one. Billy's doing his bass work during the verses, and then you have the guys just doing their vocal harmonies. It's really nice when you're in a band where you can have, multiple guys that have good voices. I think it feels soulful during the chorus work, and then Richie just showcasing some different vocal stylings, and then that leads into his guitar solo, which, Richie started as like a guitar virtuoso, and then he broke into doing more of his singing and showcasing his other talents. So once Richie does his solo, then here comes Billy, right? He gets the jam to close out the song, and so I think that's another good track. Not as up tempo as Xanadu, but Mad World's good. And then for my third song out of my top 3 on this record, we're going to go with track number 3 called The Breakthrough. This one slows it down a little bit to open up. I think they did a really cool job with the layering of the instruments. The song picks up from the intro, and then you just have strong guitar fills by Richie again in the second verse. And then I really dig the guitar solo on this one too, probably on all their songs, to be honest with you. But I just think these guys are so talented, you can't go wrong. And it goes back to the layers again, or just there's not boring parts of their songs. There's always something going on, whether it's going to be drum fills, bass fills, guitar fills, sometimes all three. They just do it in such harmony. And so if you have not checked out the Winery Dogs, I think they're fantastic. The first record is my favorite out of the 3, but I think Hot Streak's not far behind. Hot Streak's really good, but I would start the first one. Go get the self-titled Winery Dogs album, and then dive into the rest of these guys' catalog, because they have a ton of music out there when you look at all their other projects. All right, y'all. Hope you like this one. I'm curious what your favorite Winery Dogs songs are. So yeah, just let me know in the comments. Take care.